Hello guys, it's Fred here from Pro Tennis Trader. Hope you're well. In this video, I'm going to cover quite a well-known strategy in tennis trading, and that is the back the server strategy. However, although it is a commonly known strategy, I've seen some quite shocking videos out there showing people what this strategy is, but with wrong information of when to adopt this strategy. Now, it's simply not good enough to offer a strategy without giving details of exactly when to use it, nor is it good enough to offer it without providing options of what to do when things don't go to plan. So I'm going to show you when to use this strategy, what to do when things don't go to plan, and in which situations you should exit this strategy. Now I'm going to show you this on a live trading match so you can see it in action. So first of all, when should you use this strategy? Now, when adopting any strategy in tennis trading, or in fact any type of trading, this comes down to how much value you are getting when entering a trade, and of course your risk or downside. Now let's take a look at the match of Fognini versus Kukushkin to explain what I mean about value. So as you can see, Fognini here is the clear favourite at the price of 1.5. This is at the beginning of the match. Now, when adopting the back the server strategy, you ideally want to be backing the favourite in most situations, not all of the time, as there are quite frequently opportunities to back the outsider. So why do we want to mostly back the favourite? Now, this is pretty simple in the fact that if they are the favourite, then there is a greater probability of them winning their service games in comparison to the outsider. But we have the issue of this low price of 1.5. So if we back him on his serves in the first set, we are getting very little value. Now, if we were to back Kukushkin in the first set at a price of 3.0, we'd be getting much more value because we have a much better price. But he is the outsider, and as he is the outsider priced at 3.0, then there is less probability of him holding serve. So essentially, there is a bit of a catch-22 here. So what's the solution? Wait until the second set to get more value. And this is the approach that I adopt in nearly all of my trading strategies. Now, not only do you get much more value, as we'll be backing the player who has lost the first set, but we also have the added advantage of seeing how both players have performed in the first set. And so we can see how strong their serving is and be on the lookout for any possible alarm bells which could go against us later in the game. Now, if you back servers in the first set, not only are you getting poor value, but you are essentially trading blind, and by just going on previous stats from other matches, you're ignoring the here and now. So let's now join this match between Fognini and Kukushkin, and I'll explain how I traded it with the back the server strategy. So Fognini was the favourite here, and dropped the first set in the French Open, so he is essentially a drifting favourite. Now remember, the price movements are smaller, as it is a Grand Slam match, so of course it's the best of 5 sets. Now I'm trading £250 per point, so with my staking strategy I'm going to enter a 2-point stake on Fognini before he serves first in the second set. Now I've chosen this match to explain this strategy as it didn't go to plan. As you can see, Fognini went 15-40 on his first service game in the second set. Now, when the server that I'm backing goes to either love 30 or 15-40, I will always hedge out of the position as a risk management approach. Now, by hedging out of a trade at love 30 or 15-40, you get a much better price to hedge out on, and therefore a much lower loss than if you'd waited until the server was broken. And normally, you'll make around 25 to 50% difference in your potential loss. So what about situations when the server that you're backing then comes back to deuce, or in other situations 30-all? Well, if you still have the confidence in the player, and in this case I did, as he was the favourite and had good first set service stats, I will re-enter the trade, and that's exactly what I did here at deuce. As you can see, Fognini then held, and we are still in the red, but only by £20 or so, which on a £500 stake, having already hedged out, is basically pennies, and we can easily make this back later on in the match. Now, due to the hedge, I decided to reduce my liability right down by over £500. So I just put in a lay trade of £526 on Fognini. Now this was the suggested amount by Fairbot, which I was happy with, and this took my liability right down from £588 to just £53, ready to almost be starting from a clean slate in Fognini's next service game. In the following game, Kukushkin held, and so we were back on Fognini's serve, in which I backed him again for another £500 stake. Now this time it all went a bit more smoothly, so in this situation I opted to reduce my liability down once more, but keeping some money in the market to capitalise on any potential break. So once Fognini held, I put in a lay trade of £350 on him at the price of 1.9, and you'll see that this reduced my liability down from £553 to £203, with still £215 potential profit on Fognini. So if he did get the break, we'd have some money left in the market to ride the swing movement of prices. As you can see, once again Kukushkin held, so once again I'm going to place another £500 back trade on Fognini before he serves for the third time in the second set. So once again Fognini has held very comfortably, again for the third time in this second set. So what I'm doing here now is reducing the liability. So I can put a lay trade in at 1.78 for £400. Now this of course will reduce the liability, but still keeping some profit on Fognini in case we get that break of serve. So by entering that £400 lay stake, we now just have £303 liability, but £413 profit on Fognini. So we now rejoin the match with Kukushkin serving third in the second set, and this is the point of the match where it starts to take a bit of a turn in Fognini's favour. As you can see, Kukushkin now goes love 30 down, so it's at this point where I want to lock in some profit and reduce my liability. So I place a lay trade at 1.64 on Fognini for £100. Now this reduces my liability from £303 to £203, but it also locks in profit that I've already made. And as we head back to the live stream on Bet365, you'll see that the match goes even further into Fognini's favour, where it goes to love 40. So if we go back to the Fairbot platform, we've got £161 currently on the table. But if we have a look at the charts here, something interesting. He started the match at 1.50. He's now already at 1.50, and he hasn't yet made the break. Now I'm wondering how much more price movement we will have in this second set. But what I chose to do here is just reduce my liability and lock in a bit more profit by laying £50 at 1.50. As expected, Fognini did break Kukushkin, so let's take a look at the Betfair charts here. As you can see, there was a bit of overreaction. He started at 1.50, it went to 1.50 at 40 love, love 40. Price now is 1.48 for the lay trade, so obviously there was a bit of overreaction there. I don't know how much lower it's going to go, but the plan is now I will wait until Fognini confirms the break, and then we'll take a bit more profit. Now the plan was, in this service game from Fognini, before taking any more profit, I wanted to see him confirm the break so we get the larger price movement. We're at about 1.50 and I expected it to go down to about 1.40. If maybe a little bit of overreaction, we might get a little bit lower. But as you can see, Fognini here hits the ball out and he's been broken. So he's been unable to confirm the break, and that's a major alarm bell there. And that's taken my profit down from £172 to £122. But because I'd been locking in profit and reducing my liability by taking advantage of the earlier break and overreaction in the market, this drop in profit was actually not that significant. And I'm still happy walking away with that profit. And just as a final footnote to this video, a player smashing his racket and arguing unnecessarily with the umpire is a clear signal to wrap up your trading on this player. He has made me profit, not as much as I would have liked, and it certainly wasn't plain sailing, but when a player reacts like this, it's best to take your profit and move on to the next trading match. I hope you enjoyed the video and found it useful, and if you would like to take the next steps to becoming a profitable tennis trader, then please do visit my site protennistrader.com, where you can enroll on my free introduction to tennis trading video course. Hit the subscribe button for more video uploads, and I'll see you soon.